All right, this is Mr. Johnson. Today I'm going to talk to you about the edited strategy. Some questions to ask yourself or some questions to think about. Why is editing your work sometimes hard for you? When you're reading your own material, it's proven that your brain automatically fills in the words that you might be missing or already knows what you're implying whenever you type or write something down on notebook paper in the computer. So therefore, when you read it, it makes total sense to you because you know what you're trying to say. This is why peer editing or letting somebody else edit your paper is very beneficial, because what you can do is the person doesn't know what you mean. All they know is the words that you put down on the paper. Therefore, they can edit your paper and make it legible and actually improve what it's saying. The next question: what kinds of errors do teachers tell you that you need to correct? Do you make the same mistakes over and over and over and over? For example, like if you don't know a word is capitalized and you have to take and capitalize that word. So are there some things that you keep having to do over and over and over? Okay. Reasons why you or I have trouble. Some people, and like I said, when you ask a lot of people, they tell you this: I don't have enough time. Just turn the draft in like it's supposed to be. I don't notice that a word is missing. I don't notice a word needs to be capitalized. Always take time. They don't take time to edit. They just type it down and turn it in, which I've done it in the past in college. You just, as soon as you get the information down, you turn it in and go from there. You don't have time to mull over it or you second guess yourself with the content that's on the paper. Next, you don't notice that you have punctuation. Like I said earlier, you know what your sentence is trying to say. So therefore, your brain automatically plugs in either missing words, run-on sentences make sense, and also the punctuation could be off. Now, some people say spell checker. I run spell check, so the spell checker's already caught all the errors. That's a misconception about the spell checker. Spell checker does exactly what it says. It checks spelling errors. Now, one thing is a homophone, which I'll get to in a minute in the next slide, but people think I finish typing, I run a spell check, and it's all done, and then it still find mistakes. Spell checker is only going to misspell, actually highlighted misspell words if it cannot recognize it. So make sure you understand that. Now, the edit strategy can help you with all these things. That's why I'm doing this today. What's the gimmick? What's the extra work? It's really not any extra work. It's just something that you do in the process of writing any kind of research paper. First thing you're going to do, there are steps in the edit strategy. It is an acronym. Okay, even though it says edit, those letters stand for something. The E in it stands for enter your draft. Type your thoughts into the computer using double space. So what you're going to do is you're going to double space, or if you're writing, you're going to skip a space. Therefore, whenever you get it done, you'll have a chance to make the errors in between the lines that you've typed or written. Next thing you're going to do, not totally against spell check. Spell check's a great thing, wonderful thing that any processing program has put it out. So what you want to do is you want to run a spell check. Select the correction option provided by the spell checker, print the document once you run the spell check, and then read the document for homophone errors. Now, scratch the record off. Before we go any further, what are homophones? Some people don't know what homophones are. They've heard the word but don't exactly know what it is. Base part is home. Or excuse me, phones. Now, homophones are words that sound alike but are spelled differently. So, after you do that, you want to do a spell check again. So read all your sentences in a document looking for typos. Read it yourself. Next, interrogate yourself like cops. That's what I think about up here. I think about cops because cops interrogate. And those private investigators, detectives, any other word that makes you interrogate somebody, you want to interrogate what you're saying. In other words, scrutinize what you're trying to say. Correct errors dealing with capitalization, overall appearance of the paper, punctuation, and actual content. This will not take you very long to do. Like I said, usually if you're going to type a paper, you're going to research, which is going to give you knowledge about what you're typing anyway. So therefore, just make sure your content is coherent and makes sense and flows. Next, type. Type in the corrections, run spell checker again. So you're going to run spell checker twice. And I will tell you this, when we're reading aloud, start at the end, read to the beginning. In other words, you're going to start at the very last sentence of your research paper. You're going to read that sentence. Then you're going to go to the next sentence, the previous sentence. Then you're going to read that sentence. Then you're going to go to the previous sentence. So if you had 5 sentences, you're going to start it and you're doing this last hurrah or this last final edit. Start at sentence number 5 and then go to sentence 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Usually what happens is you'll catch a lot of your content errors and make sure, and this is also going to check to see if your paper flows. Now, to wrap this thing up, that's what it is. EDIT. Enter your draft, type it up, do a spell check, interrogate yourself to make sure the information is pertinent and correct and flows, and then type in the corrections very last off. That's the edit strategy in a nutshell. I also have a little screencast on spell checker for the ones who don't know how to run an adequate spell checker. Some people think they do, but after you research, some people actually do not. So therefore, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to end with that. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will make sure that your research paper of this project goes fluently and goes best. And like I said, if you have any questions about the edit strategy, this is something that you can do for as long as you're in education or advancing your education. This is not one thing just to do for my class. This is something that you can do all through high school, all through college, masters, PhDs, all the way through. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much.